Hello, I'm Eric, and welcome back to another video from Dragonfly Awakening. This is the second video in a series called the Empath Care Kit. This series is dedicated to us empaths, intuitive empaths, or clairsentient empaths out there. As most of us know, being an empath can be both a curse and a gift. Usually a curse before it becomes a gift. Learning how to fine-tune our energies to make it manageable is the goal of every empath. But finally turning it into a gift may be a life path and purpose for many. In today's video, I will be talking about how to learn to gain some footing in your empathic ability so that it can be regulated or controlled, so that you are not controlled by it. So let's get into it. Now that you have a clearer picture of what an empath is and why it happens, we can now further clear the remaining fog from your window of life by learning how to get your gift into control and regulated so that it becomes a beautiful asset to you. Empaths often feel emotions that arrive suddenly and don't match their thoughts or circumstances. Here's how to distinguish yours from not yours. This is the 10-second ownership test. When you feel something suddenly, ask, did this emotion start inside of me, or did it enter me? Close your eyes for a moment and observe. If it feels like it rose up from within, it's yours. If it feels like it dropped into you or hit you, it's external. Empaths feel external emotions as an incoming wave. Check for a logical source. Ask, did anything in my life trigger this? If the answer is no, if everything was fine 30 seconds ago, it's likely not yours. Your emotions tend to follow patterns. Foreign emotions feel random or out of sync. Body location clues. Your own emotions typically show up in the chest, the solar plexus, throat, the face, or the head. Absorbed emotions often feel like heaviness around the shoulders, sudden stomach knots, pressure around the back, a fog around your head, or jittery arms or legs. These are incoming signals rather than internal feelings. The release test. Ask yourself, if I take a deep breath and imagine this emotion flowing out, does it release easily? If it falls away quickly, it wasn't yours. If it stays and has personal roots, it's yours. Other people's emotions don't anchor to you in the same way as do yours. How to stop absorbing other people's energy. This is where things actually change. Instead of merely noticing energy, you stop taking it on. Here are the most effective methods empaths use. Seal your aura. Imagine your energy field as a bubble around your body and mentally say, close. You don't need visualization skills. Intention does it. This is like closing the door to your house. Do this before work, before going into public, before dealing with intense people. You'll feel lighter immediately. Ground your energy daily. Grounding helps you stop acting like a sponge. Simple grounding. Put both feet on the floor. Inhale deeply. Exhale, imagining excess emotion draining down your legs. Ungrounded empaths absorb everything. Grounded empaths transmit energy downward instead. Don't make eye contact during emotional, overwhelming situations. This sounds small, but it's powerful. Empaths absorb the most through the eyes, the heart field, and the hands. If someone is projecting intense emotional energy, your direct gaze creates a link. Breaking that link will reduce absorption. Salt, water, and nature. This is an energetic detox. These are not metaphors. They physically and energetically pull foreign frequencies out. Showers, imagine emotion washing off of you. Epsom salt baths, walking barefoot, being near trees, soils, or water. When foreign energy leaves, you feel immediate relief. How to strengthen energetic boundaries. This is the long-term solution. You won't always absorb others. You'll sense without taking it on. Practice allowing without merging. When someone feels something intense, say internally, "I can witness this without taking it on." This separates empathy from emotional fusion. Daily boundary setting phrase. Do this every morning. My emotions belong to me. Others' emotions return to their owners. This becomes an automatic energetic filter. Visual shielding is surprisingly effective. You can use white light, a mirrored bubble, a golden sphere, or a waterfall of energy around you. Pick the one that feels natural. Your nervous system responds to symbolic imagery more than you'd think. Cut energetic cords regularly. Not in a dramatic way. Cords form just from interactions. The simple method is close your eyes, imagine any emotional or energetic ties detaching. Say, release. Empaths who do this sleep better and feel more like themselves. Stop over-opening your energy field. Empaths often unconsciously expand their field to check on others, anticipate needs, read emotional tone, and feel safe. Bringing your energy inward, even 1 to 2 inches, helps. Try this. Imagine your aura gently hugging your body rather than spreading outward. Often, we encounter a bit of difficulty along the way in sorting out what emotions and energies are ours, getting grounded, and setting up a protective aspect. Just know that this is normal. Here are a few things to keep in mind. It gets better with practice. The intuitive empathic ability is an intense one. It will take a little time to get a firm grasp of its essence and control of it. Like anything, you get out of it what you put into it. Subtle forces. Doing it requires one to not only perceive subtle forces in others, but within oneself. Often we're not used to doing this, so it takes time to learn to recognize what's what, and then gain confidence and understanding that we can regulate it. It can be equivalent to feeling around in a dark room looking for something, or trying to spot a burning candle outside on a very bright day. For this, we need to develop our ability to perceive finer, subtle forces. Unhealed wounds. Having unhealed core wounds, often stemming from our formative years, not only offset balance within our minds, but also our body as unprocessed energy is stored in our bodies. Any kind of unprocessed emotion eventually resonates in our energy field and our aura. But severe wounds, such as a core wound, can create holes in our energy fields. Noxious energy from others is then able to penetrate those holes in our energy fields, rather than being reflected by those fields. If you can determine that this is the case, a deep, honest look into oneself can find the wound and what sort of limiting belief systems come from that. Shadow work is great for this, but the work is twofold. Internal work in rewriting one's psychology and emotional nature, but also by sending healing light to the aura so that it will close up those wounds. This can be done by your own efforts, but having a person to do energy healing can help close those holes up too. In regards to all three items listed above, the best companion any empath could have is meditation. Most people do not know how to meditate, and in fact, most people do not even really know what it is other than the common ideas going around in pop culture. Finding a meditation teacher who is spiritually awakened will be the best option to learn how to navigate our inner landscape. But honestly, beginner's luck is often an advantage to many. Simply by taking time each morning, afternoon, and evening, letting the mind relax by observing the breath is helpful enough to center one's presence back into their body. That in itself is one of the best protection shields. You. Well, I certainly hope you enjoyed this video, giving you some simple techniques to get you into control of your empathic qualities. With practice, this will help you gain a clearer understanding of how your ability works, as well as a clearer perspective of your own life as a whole. Join us in the next video where we will discuss grounding, practice several techniques together, gain further insight into possible challenges, and finally, top off the end of this series with a powerful cleansing ritual. As always, much light, love, and happiness to you.